Dude, I have such a fear of the dark web. It's so crazy. I'm so scared of it. But it was because I watched someone play that one game, which funny enough, I think they're making a third one, which is it's this game called what is it called? Welcome to the Game. I remember watching it and I was like super obsessed, but like it also made me really scared of the dark web, and I don't know if so I don't know. Anyway, let's watch the video about the dark web. The true horror stories from the dark web.
It is alarming what's being
Ooh.
bought and sold. The dark web is known as the internet's evil twin. It's where online services offer illicit hitmen for hire. Cyber criminals have created a platform called Genesis, which is making money selling people's digital
Take
identities.
the W, flip it upside down. Dark web.
Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market alpha beta.
If you've never seen this seedy corner of the internet, tonight you will.
Tonight, you will.
The internet we use every day is just a tiny part of the web. There's another hidden layer known as the dark web. It's home to every horror you can imagine. Today we're diving into true horror stories from the dark web. So it is the new year, guys, and my goal is to increase the number of videos I put out without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we got to keep growing. So it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do my very best for you. I'm visualventure and you are awesome. Rent a hitman. Hitmen have existed for thousands of years, but the dark web changed how they worked. Before the dark web, hiring someone to harm.
He was trying to hit 1.5. She did. Oh my gosh, she did. Yay! Congratulations, Mr. Visualventure. Although you'll probably never see this, but congrats!
Another person was extremely difficult. Clients had to meet hitmen face to face.
Like
it was
the video
uncomfortable
game.
and dangerous. For most people, that risk alone stopped them from trying. And the dark web changed that. Around 2016, websites claiming to offer hitmen for hire appeared across the dark web. Many of them had interesting names, like this one, Slayer's Assassination and Life-Ruining Services. On these sites, placing a hit was as simple as ordering a product online. Users only needed to fill out a form.
You provide as much detail as you can, a name, address, a photo, or whatever, and what you want done to them.
Some sites even listed different prices based on experience.
Looks like Steam.
Some less experienced operatives accept $5,000, while other skilled operatives can charge up to $20,000.
Others went even further. They offered a drop-down menu to choose how the harm would be carried out. One site even allowed users to select the method.
The cost of a sniper hitman starts at $20,000.
Some sites promised same-day options.
It's like DoorDash.
I'm sorry. Displayed reviews from happy customers. To an outsider, everything looked professional. There was just one problem. Most of these sites were scams. They took payments and promised results. Then they disappeared. For years, people lost money and got nothing in return. Because of that, police dismissed.
That has to be some kind of like karmic justice, that you're going on the dark web because you want to kill somebody and instead you get scammed out of $20,000.
Missed dark web hitmen websites as fiction. Then one day, that changed. Some hitmen began fulfilling their end of the deal. In 2018, someone placed a hit through a dark website called Bessa Mafia. The site was so popular that users called it the Etsy for hitmen. The target was a US Army soldier named Brian. The client submitted Brian's photo and location.
What did Brian do?
That the incident looked like an accident. Then they paid roughly $5,500 in Bitcoin. After that, there was nothing to do but wait. 11 days later, Brian was found lifeless in Indiana. His phone, camera, and computer were gone. There were no signs of forced entry and no suspects. People on dark web forums saw the news about Brian and they were shocked. It looked like the impossible just happened. A dark web hit order actually worked. At first, the story spread quietly, then it spread everywhere. Once people believed dark web hits were possible, job requests skyrocketed. A few months later, another contract.
People are like, it's happening. They're actually people. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Was fulfilled, this time on the other side of the world. The target was a woman named Yevgenia. She was a police detective in Moscow. Yevgenia spent years arresting criminals, and with every case, she made new enemies. In 2018, one of those enemies decided to end her. His name was Yaroslav. He submitted the detective's information on the dark web. Then he paid $15,000 in Bitcoin. Less than 1 month later, the job was carried out. Yevgenia was standing outside
she lived,
her
right?
home. Suddenly, someone stepped out of the shadows videos and ended her. It was another successful
That looks like a poop emoji. I'm sorry. The blood looks like a poop emoji. Okay.
hit ordered through the dark web. But this time the story did not end there. Remember, Yevgenia was a detective, so her team refused to drop the case. Within months, Russian police tracked down and arrested the hitman.
R.E.P.
The person who ordered the hit was also arrested. Then he had to face the law.
В октябре 2020 года суд назначил ему посадку сроком в 14 лет в тюрьме строгого режима.
That case removed any doubt about hitmen on the dark web. They were real. In the years that followed, police uncovered more cases of people ordering hits online. Today, no one knows how many hitmen are active on the dark web or how many targets they've erased. But one thing is clear. The dark web made it possible to end someone without ever leaving your bedroom. Every hitman required one crucial element: accurate information about the target, where they live, where they work, what they look like. And that information didn't just come from their clients. It's public on the internet too. And if you haven't done anything about it yet, your own information is likely online for everyone.
This is an ad.
A few years ago, someone actually found my personal information online and used it to threaten me and my family with it. And they found my information because data brokers make billions of dollars by collecting your personal data and selling it to anyone who pays.
I don't understand like what the like people just be buying anything.
It is insane to me, but this is complete data broker sites. But this is if you were spam call sponsor Aura, personal credit card or PN antivirus free trial. That's enough time for Aura to find out if your personal information says they sold online right now.
Okay.
In this next chapter, regular YouTubers started messing with the dark web, and it didn't end well. The mystery box.
The mystery box.
If someone says they bought something from the dark web, you usually expect the worst. Maybe a dangerous
like
item
a
or
kidney.
something illegal. One of the most popular items on the dark web isn't what you'd expect. It's a box, a mystery box. Just a sealed package with unknown items inside. But that mystery turned out to be the most dangerous part, because once people started opening these boxes, they realized something was very wrong. To understand these boxes, we need to start from the beginning. The idea did not originate on the dark web. It started on eBay. Around 2017, sellers began packing random items into boxes. They sold them for prices ranging from $10 to $500. They called them mystery boxes. Buyers paid without knowing what they would receive.
This it's just like a fun little thing
mystery
people
box says totally strange and also something totally useful.
People opened the boxes to find all kinds of things. Some contained junk, others had
I didn't even
Pokemon
think
cards,
about
jewelry,
that.
or gadgets.
It's just a box
eBay
of
mystery
shit.
boxes
Box
became
of
super
air.
popular. Buyers loved the curiosity and the surprise, and that gave people
It's like
on
a,
the
it's
dark
like
web
a,
an
this
idea.
is like
By
the
20
original loot boxes, or like the original like Labubus, right? Because now Labubus they're random, so it's like the same thing.
18 websites on the dark web began advertising their own mystery boxes. The concept stayed simple: a surprise inside every box. But on the dark web, surprise meant something far worse. One buyer received a package filled with a dark red liquid, and it wasn't hard to guess what it was. Another buyer opened a box and found a comb covered in hair. And these boxes weren't cheap. Many sold for hundreds of dollars. Some cost more than $1,000. You would expect people to stop buying them, but the opposite happened. Demand grew, and the internet turned it into a trend. Dark web unboxing became a niche on YouTube. Creators filmed themselves ordering the boxes and opening them on camera.
I'm kind of nervous to open
People
it
be
up.
making
I don't
content
know
of anything.
whether or not this is like gonna be something like gruesome or morbid.
Curiosity wasn't the goal anymore. It became a contest to find the most disturbing box possible. The more extreme the contents, the more viral the video. One creator opened a box and found teeth. Another received old medical tools. Some items were so alarming that after unboxing, creators contacted the police. Dark web mystery boxes still exist today. The hype faded, but the danger has not. The person in our next chapter was labeled as the most heartless man in Australia. Dark web live streams. On the open web, entertainment usually means YouTube videos or live streams on Twitch, but on the
That's
dark
where we
web,
are right
entertainment
now.
looks very different. People there watch live streams too, but the focus isn't for fun or games. It's for more criminal activity. These dark web live streams are known as red rooms. The red room is a private live stream where crimes take place while viewers watch and interact in real time. Stories about these rooms began circulating in the early 2000s. The setup was simple. An anonymous user would post a message in a dark web chat room. The message invited others to join a Red Room live stream,
Join
but
my
access
live
was
stream.
tightly controlled. Only trusted users were allowed to join. In some cases, new users had to be vouched for by others. Once a user was approved, they received a link. Clicking it opened a basic live stream site.
It's a private live streamed event where there's like a chat box, a video player, kind of like YouTube right now.
And there was always a countdown before the show began. When it reached 0, the chat unlocked. The stream usually showed masked people standing around their target. I can't get into detail about the live streams, but the worst part was the live chat. Viewers weren't just watching, they were directing what happened next. Viewers sent cryptocurrency to request specific actions. The higher the payment, the faster the request was carried out. For years, Red Rooms were dismissed as rumors, and one day someone made a mistake, and the world learned how real Red Rooms truly were. The first confirmed Red Room operation was uncovered in the Philippines. It was run by a man named Peter Scully. Those who knew Peter said he was driven by one thing: money. Peter was wanted for fraud in Australia.
Always money.
So in 2011, he fled to the Philippines. That's where he discovered the dark web. Peter became obsessed with Red Rooms. Eventually, he decided to create his own. Viewers paid him to do requests on camera, but the live streams weren't the end. To make even more money, Peter recorded the footage and sold it on the dark web.
Now make him play Overwatch 2 for 12 hours. No!
Reports say he charged up to $10,000 per video. The videos spread through underground circles, and Peter made a fortune. He believed the dark web made him invisible, but it didn't. Law enforcement
make him play
discovered one of
Minecraft
his videos,
with only
and an
wooden
international
tools.
manhunt for those responsible for the video's production was launched. Investigators had little to work with, so they analyzed the footage frame
Make
by
him
frame. They
eat
examined
food
furniture,
with no
electrical
YouTube.
outlets, and anything in the background. Those details narrowed his location to the southern Philippines. Local authorities got involved, and in February 2015, police raided
That's
Peter's home and
true.
arrested him. There was no doubt they had the right person. When police went through his phone, they found 3,000 images and 900 videos of evidence. Peter was sentenced to life in prison. After the arrest, more cases
guy's a
surfaced.
freak.
In 2019, Italian police arrested 2 people involved in another stream. Then in
Italianos.
2021, London police arrested a man named Marius. He was caught streaming on the dark web. Like most things on the dark web, no one knows how many Red Rooms are active today, but people who watch are often the
It
last
cannot
ones
be
to
worth it to
suspect.
do this, by
This
the
next
way.
chapter-
It cannot be worth it. Like, they have to be getting an exorbitant... They have to be getting an exorbitant... They have to be getting a lot of money. Like, there's no way it's worth it to do this.
Chapter shows how
Right?
the dark web uses fear as a weapon. The kidnapping. There's a group
We
on the
play a
dark
game
web
like
so
that.
mysterious that people still can't agree if they're real or fake. They call themselves the Black Death. They are an organized crime group that deals in nearly anything illegal, but their main focus is kidnapping for hire services. And if they truly exist, they may be the worst group tied to the dark web. And in 2015, a reporter went searching for proof that the group was real. While browsing the dark web, he came
10K
across what
per
appeared to be
stream?
their official website. It was deeply unsettling. The site claimed that people all over the world were being abducted, and for the right price, the group said they would take anyone you asked for. But making claims online is easy, so the reporter decided to test it. He posed as a potential customer and tried to place an order. He sent an email through the site. After some time, the site's owners replied. The response wasn't welcoming. Their email to him read, "Who are you? How do you know about us? Who recommended us?" The reporter tried to convince them he was a real customer, but he failed. They concluded that he was a police officer. Their final message to him was, "Do not bother us again." In the end, the reporter
my
couldn't
God, that's
prove
so
if the group was
scary.
real or fake. But 2 years later, things changed. Something happened that proved the group existed. In 2017, a 20-year-old British model flew to Italy for a photo shoot. Her name was Chloe Ayling. When she arrived at the studio, she was taken.
But last July, she was abducted off a street in Italy by 2 masked men.
Her captors contacted her modeling agency. They claimed they were members of the Black Death, the same group from the dark web, and they demanded roughly $300,000 for her return. The ransom was not paid, but the
50K,
news
I'll
of the
get
case
that
went viral.
person.
Global
Okay.
media picked up the story. Almost overnight, the group became world famous. Italian police launched an investigation, but before they could make progress, the unbelievable happened.
No.
1 week after her abduction, Chloe walked into the British consulate in Italy, but she wasn't alone. A man named R.E.P.O drove her there. He was quickly arrested before he could leave, but no ransom was paid. So how did Chloe return safely? Chloe had an explanation, but many found it hard to believe.
Taken to a farmhouse hours away, and held captive for 7 days.
She said her captors threatened her constantly, but after several days, her luck changed. She convinced one of them to let her go.
The model says she was detained for 6 days until her captor
She
discovered she
manipulated
was
them.
a mother.
According to Chloe, her captors told her they had rules, and one of the rules forbade kidnapping mothers, so they released her, but they didn't just let her walk away. One of the kidnappers, R.E.P.O, drove her to the British consulate. Before leaving, he handed her a business card advertising the Black Death. Then he asked her to publicize the group as he let her go. For many, the story seemed too bizarre to believe. Thankfully, R.E.P.O was in police custody, which meant officers could hear his side. But his story was even more unbelievable. During questioning, R.E.P.O kept changing his story. First, he claimed Chloe staged the kidnapping to boost her career. Then he said he was only a middleman working for the Black Death group. Later, he told police he was terminally ill and needed money for medical care. In the end, investigators concluded that he had mental issues. They described him as a dangerous person with traces of mythomania, which is a compulsive tendency to exaggerate or lie. Despite this, detectives were certain of one thing.
I did not know.
was directly involved.
That was a thing.
They confirmed the ransom demands were sent from his computer. R.E.P.O went to trial. In 2018, an Italian court sentenced him to 16 years in prison. But there was also a lot of attention on Chloe. Many people stopped seeing her as a victim. Instead, they believed she was the mastermind.
Yeah.
Many accused her of making the whole story up. An elaborate publicity stunt for fame and fortune.
Fame and
When
fortune.
more details came out, police found that Chloe's kidnappers took her shoe
You
shopping
actually
during the
sick, so
period
you
she was
can't take me to
supposedly held
jail.
captive. That revelation made her story even harder to believe. When questioned, Chloe admitted it was true, but she had an explanation. Her lawyer explained that Chloe wanted to do everything she could to keep her captors calm. Chloe remained in Italy while police investigated the case. In the end, authorities allowed her to leave. They said they did not see any inconsistencies in her story. Still, many people remained unconvinced. Chloe spent years defending herself in interviews. She even wrote a book about her abduction, yet some people still don't believe her. To this day, we're not sure if the Black Death is real, but the myth certainly lives on. Up next is a dark web crime that takes identity theft to the extreme: the ransom. On the dark web, people steal your identity, and once it's stolen, they can do serious damage with it. Most stolen identities are used for basic fraud. They might buy cars or rent homes under someone else's name. But in 2018, one stolen identity was used for something far worse. That year, a woman named Anne disappeared in Norway. Her husband came home to find the house empty. There were no signs of struggle and no witnesses. But one thing was waiting for him: a ransom note. The kidnappers demanded 9 million euros.
Her and use her identity.
That's roughly $10 million US. But they didn't want cash or a bank transfer. They left a cryptocurrency address for the payment. The desperate husband contacted the police immediately. Officers searched the home but found nothing useful. They followed every possible lead, but each one failed. So investigators followed the only trail they had left: the money. They traced the cryptocurrency wallet listed in the ransom note. To their shock, it was tied to a verified account with a real name. The account belonged to a 29-year-old man named Ole Henrik Golf. Police arrested him right away. But Golf told them
You got the wrong guy.
Golf was never near the victim's home. He had no motive, and his alibi checked out. Yet the ransom wallet was registered in his name. How? That's when investigators figured out what happened: identity theft. Months before the kidnapping, someone bought Golf's information on the dark web. Then they used it to open a crypto account in his name. That way, if the police followed the money, it wouldn't lead to the actual criminals. Golf was released. Unfortunately, this story didn't have a happy ending. The true culprits were never caught, and the woman who was taken was never returned.
No,
Investigators believe she didn't
dude.
survive. But identity theft doesn't always look the same. In rare
Identity
cases,
theft
stolen
isn't a joke,
identities are
Jim.
used to save lives. In 2004, a man named Brandon Regan began receiving hospital bills in the mail. They were bills for medical treatment. Together, they added up to about $20,000. The problem was that Regan never received any of those treatments.
Someone posing as Regan was allegedly getting multiple medical procedures. Then the hospitals came after Regan to pay.
In the end, identity theft can be used to enable almost any type of crime. And the most frightening part is this: most victims don't realize their identity has been stolen until it's too late. Up next is a man who protected...
But if you use our sponsor from today, Aura, you can protect your identity.
his criminal activities in a nuclear bunker.
Just use our code.
The cyber bunker.
Cyber bunker.
But now one thing is clear. The dark web is filled with disturbing websites.
Yeah.
The real question is, how do those sites stay up online at all? Websites aren't just code on a screen. They live on physical machines that run day and night. Those machines are called servers. On the open web, websites rent servers from hosting companies, but those companies have strict rules. They don't allow illegal content. That means criminals can't freely use them. When criminals turn to shady hosting companies, they face another problem. Law enforcement is constantly trying to find servers that support illegal dark web activity. If authorities seize a server, every website running on it goes offline instantly, and that happened a lot. Over the years, police have shut down countless servers linked to dark web crimes, until one man decided to solve that problem for bad guys everywhere. His name was Johan. Johan believed that the internet should have no restrictions.
He believes in total freedom. You should be able to do anything on the internet.
So in 1995, he launched a hosting company with an extreme promise. He would host anything, no questions asked. He called it Cyberbunker. His goal was simple. He wanted to keep disturbing websites secure from law enforcement actions. To do that, he bought an old nuclear bunker in the Netherlands. It had concrete walls, steel blast doors, no windows. He hid his servers deep inside the bunker. Then he went one step further. He turned the bunker into a fortress. He built a surveillance room to monitor the place. He reinforced the doors. He even brought in guard dogs to patrol the corridors. Cyberbunker became the backbone of the dark web. It stayed hidden for years, but it all started to fall apart. In July 2002, a fire broke out inside the bunker. Cyberbunker employees managed to put it out, but someone nearby already called 911. Police and fire crews arrived at the scene. When officers tried to inspect the bunker, Johan refused them entry. His refusal made them suspicious. Authorities continued to demand access, and he kept refusing. Desperate to keep them out, Johan declared Cyberbunker an independent nation.
It was a country in a country. Their law does not apply to us.
Johan pointed to a 1960 United Nations resolution. It stated that all people have the right to self-determination, and he used that to argue that his bunker was its own country, so the police had no right to enter. The claim sounded absurd, but it worked. The Dutch authorities backed off. Besides, they didn't have any proof of criminal activity inside the bunker. For years, the bunker continued operating, but rumors about Cyberbunker's criminal activities began to spread, and the authorities decided to act. In 2007, the Dutch government sent a SWAT team to execute a search warrant on Cyberbunker's property. The team arrived and tried to breach the bunker by force. Remember, this was a bunker designed to survive nuclear disasters. First, they tried disabling the locks. They failed. Then they tried breaking through the walls with a battering ram. That failed too. In the end, they were forced to retreat. When dark web criminals heard about the failed breach, they came to one conclusion. Cyberbunker was as secure as it claimed. Its reputation skyrocketed. More criminals moved their operations into their servers. Cyberbunker became a multi-million-dollar empire. Johan later bought another nuclear bunker in Germany, and in 2013, he moved the entire operation to the new location. By then, Cyberbunker was hosting some of the worst activity on the dark web. Business had never been better, but it was all about to come crashing down. In November,
why was it a picture of Iron Man?
Germany's largest telecom company was hacked. This was not a minor incident. It caused roughly $2 million in damages. The German government was determined to find those responsible. Investigators traced the attack. They discovered it originated from Cyberbunker servers. That was enough. In September 2019, German police arrested Johan and his Cyberbunker employees. Websites hosted on Cyberbunker servers were tied to more than 250,000 crimes. Johan eventually appeared in court. He was sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison. Authorities also shut down Cyberbunker's servers. Cyberbunker was gone, but its impact remained. Because of it, the dark web
yes, it's good technically because, you know, criminals and stuff.
The most powerful man in dark web history. The largest dark web marketplace. When people hear the word marketplace, they think of a place to buy everyday items, like Amazon. But on the dark web, a marketplace means something much darker. Dark web marketplaces are secret sites where people buy and sell illegal goods.
It's equivalent to walking into back alleys at night and looking for your...
Or sell them.
Just doing it from the comfort of your home.
What makes these sites even more unsettling is how normal they look. They have search bars, user reviews, and shopping carts. And for years, one marketplace was bigger than all the rest. Alphabet. Alphabet became became the center of the dark web economy. It served hundreds of thousands of users and processed millions of dollars every single day. Then one day it all collapsed because of one simple mistake. The man behind Alphabay was named Alexander Kazes. In the early 2010s, Alexander was already active on the dark web. Then a huge scandal occurred. At the time, the biggest dark web marketplace was called Silk Road. The site practically invented the concept of illegal online marketplaces.
It was the first of its kind, and people sought it out. They realized that this was a new way to do basically like illegal commerce, e-commerce essentially.
But Silk Road made mistakes. Law enforcement agencies began closing in. In 2013, the FBI shut Silk Road down and arrested its founder. Anyone who tried to access the site saw a seizure notice. Authorities believed this would discourage others from doing the same. But Alexander saw it differently. To him, Silk Road did not fail because the idea was bad. It failed because it was careless. Alexander was a computer expert involved in international transactions of bitcoins. He believed he could build something better. So in December 2014, he launched Alphabay. From the start, the site looked more professional than anything before it.
This marketplace actually looks quite well designed. It's quite new looking. It actually looks quite legitimate.
And Alphabay sold almost everything.
Forged and illegal documents, credit card information, counterfeit currency, malware, tutorials for hackers, and even a section dedicated to firearms and explosives.
The site even offered customer support. By late 2015, Alphabay had thousands of listings. It was generating $500 million per year, and it became 10 times bigger than Silk Road.
If you just look at the numbers, 40,000 vendors, possibly 200,000 users, possibly 300,000 individual listings.
That's when the cracks began to show. Most dark web marketplaces survive by staying hidden. However, one factor dragged Alphabay into the global spotlight, and it wasn't even Alexander's fault. Some of the most popular items on Alphabay were substances. Young people across the US bought them for parties and fun, and many ended up in the emergency room. Some didn't survive. The police started investigating. Again and again, the trail led back to Alphabay. That was the moment authorities decided to take Alphabay down. But it wasn't going to be easy. The dark web was designed to hide people. Users were anonymous. Payments were made using cryptocurrency. For months, investigators made little progress. Then in December 2016, they got a major break. The FBI received an anonymous tip from someone claiming to be one of Alphabay's earliest users. In Alphabay's early days, every new user received a welcome email. That email came from a personal address, not an anonymous system. Investigators traced it. It led straight to Alexander Kazes. For the first time, Alphabay had a real name attached to it. Police ran a background check. They found out where he lived and tracked his daily routine. By then, Alexander was living large. He owned a luxury condo in Bangkok. He drove around in a $1 million Lamborghini. He even got married. He had no idea law enforcement was closing in. In July 2017, agents raided his condo and arrested him. His laptop was open, and he was logged into Alphabay's backend system. That gave authorities exactly what they needed. They shut down the site immediately.
Today, the Department of Justice announces the takedown of the dark web market Alphabay.
Anyone who tried to access Alphabay saw the same message. This hidden site has been seized. Alphabay was gone. But that was not the end of dark web marketplaces. Today, buying and selling continues in the darkest corners of the internet. When there are no rules, people reveal who they really are. And the dark web proves that freedom without morals leads to destruction. So my friends, stand firm on your values, even when no one's watching. Visual Venture. Wait, before you guys go, I created a documentary on one of the dark web's most powerful people. And surprisingly, he was literally a Boy Scout who turned into a $1.2 billion drug lord.
Oh my gosh.
Right here to watch it. Love you guys. Peace.
Whoa. So forward, Mr. Visual Venture.